Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem HaRaHaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. So just wanted to go into a quick lesson, and we're just going to hop right into it. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 13 and 29. It says, Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell upon the earth. That's right. These people are going to bug the hell out when they see Yahawashi. Okay. Also, when they start to experience, the different wonders that Yahawashi has planned to take place. Okay. And one of the main reasons why these people are going to be scared, not only are they going to see, a so-called black man standing on top of a chariot. Okay, he ain't coming down here to play games with you people. All right, he ain't coming with a smile on his face. Okay, he ain't coming like a juck and jiving Negro. All right, he gonna be mad as hell, and he's coming back with all power and glory. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 47 and 3. It says, Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and you Edomites are getting exposed. Okay, all these little things that you've been trying to hide over these past centuries is coming out. Okay, your true character is being revealed to the entire world. Okay, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Yeah, Yahawashi ain't coming back like he did 2,000 years ago. Okay, lowly, meek, he's coming back to wreck shop. Okay, and he does have that glorified body, and you're going to see the glow. Okay, you're going to feel the power coming off of Yahawashi. Okay, and you're going to know that he ain't here to play games with you. All right, and that's going to bug you people the hell out. Okay, this is the book of Revelation 19 and 11. It says, And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And that white horse is talking about the chariot that Yahawashi is going to come back on. Which that's going to throw you people for a loop as well. Okay, see, this is the least thing that you expected. Okay, not only are you going to see so-called UAPs, you're going to see a so-called black man standing on top of the UAP. Okay, and he's going to have a glow coming off of him, and he's not going to have a pleasant look on his face. Okay, and the energy and the spirit that you're going to feel from him is one of death and destruction. And you people going to bug the hell out. Okay, real quick, let's jump to this, and then we're going to jump right back. This is Revelation 1 and 7. It says, Behold, he cometh with clouds. Okay, and the clouds are talking about those so-called UAPs, the chariots of Israel. Okay, it says, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And these people are going to be astonished when they see Yahawashi and the angels. They're going to bug the hell out. Okay, because again, this is the last thing that they are expecting. And another thing that they do not expect to happen is the aggressiveness that Yahawashi is going to come back with. Okay, because they've been, told by Esau Edom that the son of the Most High, he's just this, benevolent being. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. Okay, you hear about the accounts according to Esau Edom about the Lord. He's the nicest guy in the world. Anything that you do, he'll forgive you for it. All you got to do is ask, and he'll forgive you, and he'll hug you. That ain't how Yahawashi coming back, man. Okay, you people gonna be sadly mistaken. He ain't forgiving you for the wickedness that you've been committing down here on the earth. Okay, you will pay with your blood. It says, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so let it be true. And that's exactly what's going to happen. These people going to scream. Okay, they're going to cry out with a loud cry when they see Yahawashi sitting on top of that chariot, man. Okay, so this is back in Revelation 19 and 11. It says, And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. That's talking about Yahawashi. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. And that's what he's coming down here to do. Okay, he ain't coming down here to hug you. Okay, he ain't coming down here to sing hymns with you. Okay, he ain't coming down here to fulfill your wrong interpretation of John 3 and 16, okay? You want to experience how God loves the world? That's not going to happen, okay? It says in righteousness, he doth judge and make war. And that's exactly what he's coming down here to do, to execute righteous judgment down here on the earth. That means all idolaters are going to get put to death, okay? All adulterers are going to get put to death. All you people that eat abominations, you're going to get put to death, okay? All blasphemers are going to get put to death. If you are breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahawashi, he coming down here to destroy you, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Ain't going to be no pleading your way out of this, okay? The judgments are going to be set when he comes down, all right? It says in righteousness, he doth judge and make war, and all these wicked nations that are in power, he going to take them out, okay? And that's every nation outside of the elect of the nation of Israel, which we ain't even in power, okay? It says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns representing all the kingdoms that he's going to take down when he comes back, okay? It says that he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, which is going into these people not being acquainted with the name Yahawashi, okay? Just like back in the ancient world, these other nations were not acquainted with the name Yahweh. Okay, yeah, you're aware of the name, you've heard the name before, but you don't really understand the magnitude of this name. Okay, you don't understand the magnitude of what happens or what it means to be threatened by this name. Okay, and you're going to learn that. Okay, you're going to learn about the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi. Okay, it says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High, okay? And that vesture dipped in blood represents all the killing that he's going to do when he comes back, mainly against Esau, Edom. You can read about that in Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, okay? It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, okay? And that sharp sword is talking about the laser beams that come out of the chariots, okay? A lot of you people are going to die from the lasers that come out of those chariots, man. Okay, we going to, the nuclear destruction a lot, and how you people are going to die. But hey, a lot of you people, you're going to get burned up by those laser beams. Okay, and they show you that in that movie War of the Worlds. They also show you that in that movie Independence Day. Okay, the one that came out in the 90s. All those people, they was on top of that building in LA. They was over there to greet the aliens, and a laser beam came out and destroyed everybody, man. That's what's going to happen to you people. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 13 and 1. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. Okay, which the sea here is talking about the outer atmosphere. Okay, space. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and Yahawashi is coming back with all the holy angels. Okay, another show of force. All right, by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi, and that's going to bug you people the hell out. Okay, because you seeing one bugs you out. Okay, but the whole sky being covered with so-called UAPs, you people going to bug the hell out even more. Okay, and then you're going to have them shooting laser beams at you people. You people are going to bug the hell out. All right. It says, I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. So when you see those chariots, you're going to shake. Okay. Fear is going to overtake you. All right. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, which the voice is talking about the lasers that's going to come out of the chariots. Okay. It says, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, because all these nations are going to come together to fight against Yahawashi and the angels. Okay, they also show you that in that movie Independence Day. Okay, but the difference between that movie and reality, you ain't going to win. Okay, Esau always likes to put, him coming out on top in his Hollywood movies, man. But you ain't going to win this war. Okay, you're going to be completely decimated. All right. It says to subdue the man that came out of the sea, because Yahawashi is going to come from outer space. Okay, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it, which that great mountain is talking about a chariot. Okay, it's going to be a huge chariot that Yahawashi is going to come back on. It says, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it wasn't a mountain. All right, it was just a huge chariot. Okay, and the chariot was so big that Ezra thought it was a mountain. Okay, that's how big the chariot was. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So these people, they're going to be scared out of their mind. But Yahawashi is going to put the spirit on them to fight. Okay, so they ain't going to want to fight. You know, they're going to try to do a retreat, but Yahawashi is going to force them to engage in battle. Okay, further giving Yahawashi praise. Okay, and this is part of what you people are not acquainted with when it comes to Yahawashi, his power. Okay, the Most High can make you do things that you don't want to do. He already does it. Okay, but it's not apparent to you people, but it's going to be made apparent in that day, man. These people that are in these fighter jets, they ain't going to want to fight. Okay, you're going to, if the black box survives, okay, this encounter, you hear the playback, these people are going to say they want to retreat. Okay, they're going to get the command or retreat, you know, or we don't want to fight, I don't want to do this. You know, the plane is flying by itself. I'm controlling it, but I don't have control over the plane. You're going to hear these things, man, if those black boxes survive. Okay, further solidifying the almighty power of Yahawashi. Okay, the omnipotent power of Yahawashi. Okay, but you people have no clue that the Heavenly Father has this power, man. But you're going to be made well aware of it after this takes place. All right. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, which is those lasers. Okay, so you're going to be standing on top of the chariot. Okay, all these fighters just are going to come to try to take them out, and you're just going to see laser beams come out and burn everything up, man. Okay. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived but only dust and the smell of smoke. And that's what's going to be left to these people, man. They're going to be turned into dust. Okay, because those laser beams are going to burn you up instantly. All right, your fighter jets are going to be burned up instantly. All your military hardware is going to be burned up when they feel the lasers from those chariots, man. Okay. When I saw this, I was afraid, because Ezra's seen this vision. Okay, he didn't really understand what it meant. All right, but here it is. Ezra, he was already been told that he's part of the elect. He's afraid seeing this. So how much more are you people actually seeing this in person? All right. So this is back in Revelation 19 and 15. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, which is those laser beams which we just went into. Okay. It says that with it he should smite the nations. And how is he going to smite? He's going to burn them up with those lasers. Okay, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, which the rod of iron represents the most rigorous rule. Okay, so after Yahawashi destroys the armies of you other nations, okay, a certain period of time is going to pass, and eventually the elect are going to be sent back down to earth. Okay, and they're going to subdue all you nations. You're going to have chains put on you. Okay, you and your kings are going to get binded up. And from thenceforth, you will be inducted into the righteous totalitarian state. Okay, where if you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahawashi, you're going to experience a judgment. It's going to be immediate. All right, you ain't going to be able to do wickedness for 30 years, 40 years, and then, oh, now the Israelites get wind of it. Now we got to go execute judgment. Nah, as soon as you go off, okay, you're going to be judged. All right, wickedness is not going to be able to spread itself throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, and furthermore, Yahawashi is going to set up judges over you other nations. Okay, you're going to have Israelites dwelling in your land, making sure you follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Okay, and when you other nations go off, you're going to be judged according to the laws of the Heavenly Father. All right. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, because Yahawashi is going, basically, he's going to conquer all you other nations. All right, you're not going to have sovereignty in the kingdom. You're not going to have autonomy in the kingdom. Okay, all that is going to be translated to Yahawashi and subsequently to the nation of Israel. You ain't going to rule. Ain't going to be no heathen kings down here. Okay, there ain't going to be no heathen rulers down here on the earth. The only rulers are going to be of the nation of Israel. Okay, so I just wanted to go into that. Yahweh Shem Yahawashi willing. It was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi. By Shem Hakwadash, double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone. Shalom.